Welcome to the Netherlands. A country where land and water dance in harmony, where windmills turn time backward, and where tulip fields bloom like a painter's dream. Although it covers just over 41,500 square kilometers, this low-lying kingdom draws over 20 million international visitors annually, according to 2024 tourism data. And yet, beyond its famous cities and canals, lies a hidden world of serene villages, magical gardens, and historical marvels that stir the soul. Whether it's the 1,200 bridges of Amsterdam or the 800-year-old towers of Utrecht, every corner whispers stories of golden ages, artistic revolutions, and quiet charm. This journey isn't just about visiting. It's about feeling every heartbeat of the Dutch land. Let's discover the 12 most stunning destinations that enchant the inner heart. Giethorn, the village without roads. Tucked away in the northeastern province of Overijssel, Giethorn is a floating fairy tale. With no roads in its historic center, this village trades cars for boats, bicycles, and peaceful walking paths. The town has just 2,795 residents, but welcomes over 1 million tourists each year. Giethorn's 180 wooden bridges arch gracefully over quiet canals that reflect quaint thatched roof cottages. Founded in the 13th century by peat diggers, the village has preserved its pastoral elegance for centuries. Glide through the waterways in a whisper boat, a silent electric vessel that keeps the serenity untouched. The atmosphere feels like a living painting, especially during spring, when gardens burst with tulips and lavender. Whether you're drifting under arched bridges or sipping coffee beside the water, Giethorn offers peace that's almost poetic. Kinderdijk. Kinderdijk, where windmills guard the past. Kinderdijk is where time stands proudly still. This UNESCO World Heritage Site, located 15 kilometers east of Rotterdam, features 19 perfectly preserved windmills from the 18th century. Built around 1740 to combat flooding, they remain symbols of Dutch ingenuity. Each year, over 500,000 visitors witness these majestic guardians that rise from lush green fields and still waters. The village's name, Child's Dyke, comes from a legend of a baby found floating in a cradle after a great flood. You can explore the site by foot, bike, or boat, with interactive museums explaining the history of water management. In an age of steel and screens, Kinderdijk is a gentle reminder that nature, wind, and craftsmanship once shaped the fate of a nation. Amsterdam, the timeless capital. Amsterdam, the heartbeat of the Netherlands, is where history and modern life share the same rhythm. With over 800,000 bicycles and more canals than Venice, 165 in total, the city is a marvel of urban design and cultural richness. In 2024, it welcomed over 9 million international tourists. Visit the Anne Frank House, cruise through the UNESCO-listed Canal Ring, or gaze at Rembrandt's masterpieces at the Rijksmuseum. The Van Gogh Museum alone receives 2.3 million visitors annually. Yet, despite its popularity, Amsterdam retains intimacy. Each neighborhood, from Jordaan's boutiques to De Pijp's markets, has its soul. And during tulip season, the city turns into a colorful dream. Amsterdam isn't just a destination. It's a dialogue between centuries and ideas, always unfolding. Keukenhof, the Garden of Europe. Only open for 8 weeks each spring, Keukenhof in Lisse is one of the world's largest flower gardens, often called the Garden of Europe. In just 2 months, over 1.4 million people visit its 32 hectares of blooming beauty. The park showcases 7 million bulbs, including 800 varieties of tulips opened in 1949. Keukenhof was once part of a hunting ground for a 15th century castle. Today, it's a festival of color and scent. Rivers of red, orange, and purple meander through manicured lawns and whispering fountains. In 2025, a new theme garden dedicated to climate-friendly planting will be introduced. As you walk through this paradise, surrounded by fragrance and petals dancing in the wind, it's easy to believe that happiness can grow from the earth. Texel Island, nature's calm canvas. The largest of the Dutch Wadden Islands, Texel is a nature lover's dream. It's only 25 kilometers long, but offers over 135 kilometers of bike trails, 30 kilometers of sandy beaches, and more than 300 species of birds. With a population under 14,000, Texel welcomes about 1 million visitors annually. It's famous for Die Slufter Nature Reserve, where saltwater flows freely through flowering fields. In 2023, the island implemented new eco-trails and sustainable tourism initiatives, earning praise for biodiversity conservation. Visit Ecomare, a seal sanctuary and marine museum. On Texel, the skies are wider, the winds kinder, and every step closer to peace. Utrecht, with its 2,000-year-old Roman roots and deep canals, is a hidden jewel often overlooked by tourists. The city is home to the tallest church tower in the Netherlands, the 112-meter Dom Tower, built in 1382. With a population of over 360,000, Utrecht combines youthful energy from its large student population with ancient charm. Its split-level canals are unique in Europe and lined with wharf cellars converted into cafes and art studios. In 2023, Utrecht was named one of the top 10 most sustainable cities in Europe, thanks to its green roofs, bicycle highways, and low emissions. Climb the Dom Tower's 465 steps for a view that stirs the soul. Or simply drift along the canals as church bells echo softly. Utrecht doesn't shout, it sings. Maastricht, where cultures converge. Nestled in the southernmost tip of the Netherlands, Maastricht feels like a blend of France, Belgium, and Germany, yet remains uniquely Dutch. With over 1,600 national heritage buildings, it's one of the oldest cities in the country. The city's population of 122,000 enjoys Roman ruins, Gothic cathedrals, and bustling plazas like Vrijthof Maastricht is where the European Union was born. The Treaty of Maastricht was signed here in 1992. In 2023, it saw a 14% rise in cultural tourism. Explore the underground caves of St. Petersburg, sip wine along the Meuse River, or walk the 13th century city walls. Maastricht speaks many languages: history, art, politics. But its most beautiful voice is the one that says, "You belong." Rotterdam, the city of tomorrow. Rotterdam rises from war ruins with bold ambition. After being nearly destroyed in 1940, the city reinvented itself with daring architecture and a futuristic skyline. It now boasts the largest port in Europe and is home to 651,000 residents. Marvel at the cube houses, explore the Markthal, which receives 8 million visitors yearly. In 2024, Rotterdam was ranked among Europe's top 5 most innovative cities art museums like Boijmans van Beuningen, currently undergoing renovation. Display everything from Bosch to Warhol. Rotterdam doesn't imitate the past. It invents the future with concrete poetry and steel dreams.